Welcome, folders and foldettes. I don't know. Should we make this a thing? Jake Wan would probably disapprove, but hey, let us know if you like it. Anyways, we have something a little different today. I will be doing a review of the Uber Soca Cruise, which is essentially an over-glorified cruise with soca a part of every theme. Here's how this is going to work. We will discuss the bad, the good, and the ability to hook up and or ability to meet someone significant, because guess what? We're lonely single guys. And it's a cruise with very, very beautiful women. So we're going to talk about that. Before I get into it, let me introduce you to the members of Fold that experienced this trip. First, we have me, bozo number 1 right here. You can also call me Bri. Bozo number 2 right here.
What up? We in Puerto Rico right now. It's 82 degrees outside, and they mad that I'm dressing for the occasion, bro. I'm trying to be comfortable to get where I'm going. So apparently, a white beating at 82 degrees is a problem. Only in Puerto Rico and only with the Fold podcast. Keep that in mind.
Self-explanatory. And finally, we have Rizzmaster here, aka Bozo number 3, aka Jay. By the way, the ship we were on set sail in Puerto Rico, so we spent a night there. Look at these two bozos sleeping together. First, let's get the bad out of the way. The Uber Soca Cruise, or USC for short, is a soca cruise with tons of parties. That means everything you try to do that doesn't involve soca or Caribbean activities will probably not happen. Other events are offered, but nobody will sign up for them. Therefore, extracurricular activities will just end up cancelled. But who would want to do anything else and miss out on these sights? It was a little unnerving though, how casual they were with certain big events being cancelled, such as the Bridgerton Bacchanal Ball and Codfish and Potatoes Breakfast. Nothing was done about these cancellations, even though people got dressed up and went out of their way to go to these events. It isn't too horrible because if you signed up for this cruise, you probably signed up for the parties, and that, there was plenty of. Also, let's talk about the price. The Uber Soca Cruise is a cruise that's soca themed. I know, big surprise, right? However, I don't believe that justifies a $2,000 price tag per person, even if it's all inclusive and includes a drink package. Especially when you realize a lot of influencers and friends of influencers got on for the low, but they didn't really add anything to the trip. But hey, it's a hustle out here. Essentially, the price tag was for the performers. There were some big names that actually came out, such as Allison, Hinds, and Patrice Roberts. They were supposed to actually show multiple times, but only really saw them once. Up to you to decide if it's worth it for the performers. Oh, of course, there was a good amount of intoxicated people, but no more than what was expected. There was someone, also intoxicated, who tried to jump on a moving ferry that was transporting people back to the ship, and they ended up horribly maimed, but when in Rome, I guess. The island themselves did have security to watch over us visitors, but they were not going above and beyond to watch over us like babies. Take from that what you want. Yes, there were measures that could have been taken to make us safer from the dock to the events, but we're adults and a little bit of common sense goes a long way. Let's get into the good. The music and parties were top notch. All the latest soca music, yes, was played repetitively, but the DJs managed to mix things up enough to keep a vibe. Every single night, up until the end, it was packed with people. This brings up another positive. The energy was rich and people genuinely wanted to have fun. That's the best kind of vibe to have for a party. Let's not forget, people actually followed the themes of the parties and everybody looked great. I'm not even going to get into how jaw-dropping some of the fits the women had on. The GoPro didn't work at night, so sorry, didn't get much footage of that. But that's how the cookie crumbles. The islands were all beautiful. For USC in April, we visited St. Maarten, St. Lucia, and St. Thomas. While the cruise events did not go too deep into the islands, we were able to see enough. The beach party in St. Maarten allowed us to enjoy the Great Bay Beach. We were able to walk a couple of Manhattan blocks worth of distance in St. Lucia while chipping behind a choice of 3 trucks and a local watch as we paraded. For those who don't know, Manhattan blocks are long. In St. Thomas, the world was our oyster. We spent about 10 hours in St. Thomas and the locals were even partying with us. That comes with its own set of pros and cons, but overall it was nice. You will truly feel like you're enjoying Carnival each and every day of the cruise, whether you're on the boat or on the island. Now, I can't talk too much about the boat itself. That was not really a part of USC. The boat did have very decent staff and was very well kept, but that was expected for any cruise. Being a part of a cruise with the USC theme didn't change how the staff operated, which is a good thing, especially when you have all these parties going on that require a huge amount of setup. Overall, lots of fun to be had and never a dull moment you will actually be seeking a dull moment, because at some point you will want to go to sleep. Look at this bozo knocked out here. Alright, again, this was a Soca Cruise, and there was some wishful thinking to meet people and have fun. A lot of fun. It was not expected and or necessary to have fun on this trip, but come on, they were giving out condoms in goodie bags for a reason. So first, I will share our stories and then give a conclusion about dateability on this cruise and an overall rating. So I, the main bozo, went out there and I struck out. I flopped like a magic cop having a seizure. I fumbled like LeBron when a player gets within 1 inch of him. And to make it worse, I got on the boat already being friends with 2 women there. Let me just reiterate for the 1,000th time. This is a Soca Cruise and people are there to have fun. A lot of the women are there to have fun, so just take your wine and move on. I clearly did not do that. Do not think you will find a wife chatting up a girl after you just broke your knees getting down low with her, which is exactly what I did. One of the girls I talked to, who I also knew, was literally 4'10" and almost blew on my knees, kid you not. It was worth it though. After one wine, I was already planning a future, but again, she was there for age-appropriate fun and nothing more, at least for me. I was able to receive plenty of numbers and Instagrams, but that amounted to nothing after I got off the boat. Overall, I took 3 major L's, but this is not indicative of the dateability. My game is just trash, and I was looking for a wife, which is dumb. Dante, bozo number 2, actually got somewhere with someone. The girl he met actually approached him and put in work. I mean, look at this bozo. Now, being back to reality, he has the highest chances of continuing conversation and or relationship with someone from the cruise. This bozo currently has a pending W. Jaquan, bozo number 3, likes to play on hard mode and decided to talk up the most elusive woman on the boat, and he actually succeeded in building a friendship with her. Now disclaimer, this guy had no intention of bringing a woman back to the room for nefarious purposes, so he also got a W and a friend. I'm jealous. This friend also allowed him to meet other influencers and performers, so he's practically famous now, and we will now have to book him to attend our podcast episodes. Overall, this cruise was a great way to meet people, and yes, there were actually a couple of guys that quote-unquote woke up the next morning in a room that wasn't theirs. Do not think foolishly like me that you can find someone for a relationship. In the words of the great Ed Sheeran, the club isn't the best place to find love, the bar is where I go. Also, do not think you could bring a friend there and something will happen. It's a Soca Cruise, but that doesn't mean buns are free for all you friend zone dudes. You will still have to finesse and still have to have some game. Overall, the dateability is 6 out of 10. If you're willing to drop your standards or you look like this bozo, you could have found something most definitely. Of course, that goes for everyday life. The only caveat is that you're stuck together on a boat. I have to give the USC a 3 out of 5. Jaquan says it's a 3.5 to a 4 given how immaculate the vibes were. But I digress. It was our first cruise, and even though it was not perfect, the experience has us eager to go on more. It could have been better, and here's why. We have heard numerous claims saying that doing the USC on the Royal Caribbean boat is better, as they have better space accommodations for parties and a better pool setup. We were on the Norwegian Epic. Also, we know people were able to finesse tickets at a cheaper price. One of the ways people did that was by simply purchasing a normal cruise ticket at the same time USC was planned. So you got on the same boat, but you didn't get access to the drink package or the parties on the islands. However, there were enough events on the boat and enough free food that supplements that. So if you're willing to sacrifice that, you would be fine just paying for the normal ticket. If there is a next time, we'll be smarter and try to get tickets cheaper. Given the potential for the trip to be so much better, I have to stick on the 3 out of 5. But take it with a grain of salt, as a lot of the stuff that could have made it better happened because of our lack of knowledge on how a theme cruise works. Thank you for joining us on this Uber Soca Cruise review. It has been a pleasure. Thank you for sticking it through to the end. Let us know what you think. Does this inspire you to go on your own Uber Soca Cruise specifically? Do you never want to go on an Uber Soca Cruise? Or are you still teetering? Let us know. This has been Fold, where we speak facts. Okay, it's just not the same without the rest of them. But then again, I can actually get through it the one time. Maybe next time. Catch you guys later.